Hey, Sarah, I'm presuming we're live. We don't want to do that big pausey thing. Um, we're waiting to check if we gone live. There's always a 10-second delay, but that's cool. So it's time we went public. Da-da-da-da-da. And why am I saying that? Because I kind of have half told you and kind of forgot to tell you. And so I brought Sarah on to keep me on track today as well. Because some people have asked me in private messages and gone, you've mentioned a membership thingy. What is that membership? And I forgot that we actually haven't released it to the public. Myself and Sarah have been running the membership for, gosh, I don't know, 4 or 5 months now.
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, and we've been having an awesome old time there. And we've been telling you some of the things that were in it, but I forgot to actually say, you're invited if you'd like to come. so we're here to let you know about that and about tonight's one specific, or tomorrow night's one specifically. And just thought that over the coming weeks, we share some of the insights that the guys are getting and that we're sharing, because you know what, they're kind of the same stuff that we're all going through. So we thought we'd hop on today and say hi and say, hey, this is what's going on. So some of the things that we've been covering, we found from most of the clients asking us questions where, okay, I know stuff and I kind of know stuff, but I don't want to have to trawl through 10,000 freaking courses or 10,000 videos to find this one thing I want. Where can I get it? And that's what we've kind of become, the place where no matter what your question is, you can hop on, we can share your screen, we can actually fix it for you right there and then. If it's a techie problem, marketing problem, sometimes it's a bit of a this problem and you just don't see it yourself, we're there and we can actually help you with it live online. So some of the stuff we've been doing, I'll actually throw it over to Sarah to tell you some of the techie stuff that we've been doing specifically, because Sarah's a lot techier than I am, but I am a bit techie now. So Sarah, what's some of the techie stuff that have been the biggest blocks for people that we've been covering in the course?
Yeah, look, I think it's as you touched on, like when you're building your business out online, there's just so many of these moving parts that we know we're meant to have, and then it's like, well, how do we connect them all together to actually make it work? So part of our membership is looking at our sales funnel, which is, you know, it's just how your customer goes from point A to point B to point C, and we can take a payment along the line. So look, we look at how to set up that sales funnel. So that can cover everything from the back end of your website. So how does that need to be set up? Do we need special plugins to help us with that, with our sales funnel? We look at autoresponders and client management systems. So
yeah.
How do we get our emails out to people, and how do we know if someone's bought something that's going to trigger a certain email to go out? Or how do we just keep our nurturing email sequence going? Or what if someone opts in for a freebie? How do we even get that freebie to them via email? So there's all these like little pieces of the puzzle that we often just get stuck on it, and it just wastes so much time. So that's an example of what we've covered off on. Recently, we looked at just PayPal and how do we get a PayPal button on a sales page. We've looked at some more marketing and target market research. So how do we actually get the language of the people that we're marketing to? How do we do research into a lucrative target market? And how do we even find the keywords that will help our content show up where they are? So we can kind of go in any direction, but the core focus of this membership is to answer the questions when you need them answered. So our members often send in the questions during the week, and then we go through them on the Thursday night call and we get them answered. And I think a real key to this membership is we're not just going to tell you what you should do and why. I think that's stuff you can get out of any old course, is usually very focused on the what and the why. So people tend to know they need a website. They tend to know they need to get an email system set up. So that's kind of like the what and the why, but it's also then needs to go into how, and not just how step by step, but how do I do it for me and my business? So it's like that personalization and the tailoring of these systems. Which is what we go into, because as you said, we can literally share screens on Zoom. So you've got a problem, you bring it up, you or I can get in there and start clicking things and showing you on the spot how to do things. So it's a real key difference is we're the how to do it, and we're also the showing you in the moment how to do it. So really trying to take that step away from that sort of cookie cutter formularized learning, which look, that has its time and its place, because we do need to know the basics, but this is that real hands-on learning and getting it really specific to you. So if you've got a question, you send it in to us, and on the night we will go live and we'll get it sorted for you.
Awesome. And look, you're so right. I know it started with myself, and then with myself and yourself, and we're going, well, where's the stuck points and clients? And can I really admit here, I was a person as well, that I was like, I knew I needed a website. I knew I needed to communicate with my people. I knew I needed to have emails. I knew I needed to have a funnel. I knew I needed to, and then social media, holy guacamole. It was like, which comes first and where's the whatever. And having that one place that, like, I knew once a week that I could go in, and no matter what the question was, and sometimes it's about copy. So some of our members have been on our copy course or been on a video course, and they've come in after it and gone, right, I have this copy, but it's not kind of getting me any engagement. Cool, we can get on and actually help them do that. Who are you talking to? Let's kind of word it differently. So that is, to me, invaluable. And to our members, I know they've been getting huge amounts out of it. One of the things, and I've just mentioned it, is social media. Holy, yes. And that's one of the things that we're covering this week, actually tomorrow evening, is how to structure your social media in a way that you're not doing this all the time, because it can be overwhelming. And, you know, we'll hear that there's Facebook, there's LinkedIn, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's like all the groups in where it's quite, that's the only word I can think of.
It's a lot to try and keep on top of.
Yeah. And one tip is find the one you're good at first and stick with that. But that really goes into who is your ideal customer, you know, so where are they hanging out? But there is a way, and that's, as I say, what we're going through tomorrow night. I use a program called Airtable, and I have a VA who helps me enormously. But it's a way that I can put all the information in there and where it needs to go when, and do it once. I do it once in a week, and then I just have to tweak it and whatever. And it's an invaluable tool. Again, it comes back to really knowing who you're talking to. And myself and Sarah actually had a big deep dive the other day of making sure our core messages are really, really on point, because then it's easy when you're talking about that all the time. So we bring that into that room with our members as well. And sometimes we can challenge you a little bit, I'll be honest, because you've been on that treadmill of doing the same all the time. So if you come in and you don't know who you're talking about to, well, we have lots of recordings there as well. That's the one thing, is everything's recorded, even if you can't make it for that question. And we can point you in the right direction to make sure you're getting that foundation. Because here's the thing, and I know Sarah will have heard this before. Realistically, everything you want to hear or know or learn is on YouTube or somewhere similar. If you wanted to build the Empire State Building, technically, you could look at all the measurements, what's been done before, everything. You could actually build it. Okay, if you had the right resources and the money and everything, I get that. But the one thing you can't do is build that Empire State Building if you haven't put foundations down first. Now, because it's such a big building, does it need more foundations and extra stuff in it than a normal house would? Oh, I'm pretty sure. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure it would. And it's kind of the same with business. If you don't have the foundations, and I was doing this for many years myself, was flying by the seat of my pants, and somebody say, you need a website. Right, there's the website. Okay, what's next? But I wasn't actually putting these foundations in, and that's been the difference that's made the difference. And I think our members are seeing this now. Somebody said to me the other day about Ideal Client, I've never heard anyone go this deep with it before. Well, you need to know. What is it, an inch wide and a mile deep? So that's the kind of thing. So the organization is all around social media specifically is tomorrow night. And that gets recorded. Again, if you can't make it, you send in your questions, we'll answer them and record them for you. What else have I missed?
Well, I think that's key. Like, look, I mean, last week was a great example of how valuable it is to get in a group of other entrepreneurs or people in enterprise who are in the same boat as you. And we had about 5 different questions, but they all came from different people, but everyone on the call was like, oh, I didn't know the answer to that. So we had people who had been struggling with the same thing, just hadn't quite formulated into a question. Someone else brought it in and we all learnt at the same time. So it was definitely all about sort of productivity and increasing our productivity last week. And this is where like we're heading into the Airtable tomorrow. It's all about how do we streamline our businesses? How do we not get caught in the funk and the overwhelm of too much information and feeling like you don't have enough hands to do everything? And I've seen you use Airtable, Carmel, to great success, liaising between yourself and your VA and managing your social media strategy. And I think that's just going to be so valuable. Like if there's anyone out there who's been watching Carmel over the last year, she has become a bit of a Carmel everywhere in terms of social media. There is a strategy and a system behind that. If you want to learn what it is, come along tomorrow night, jump in the membership, give it a crack, because I know you're going to be revealing some pretty neat secrets when it comes to the organization of social media.
Yeah, and what we were talking the other day is there is no freedom in running a business Flintstone style, and I did it for a long time. And the other thing is we're going to put the make sure that we have the link in the comments below. This is not a lock-in, you know, buy once you're locked in for whatever. You come in at the price you come in, which is on special at the moment. But you don't like it after a month, just leave, just cancel it, just leave. There's no lock-in, there's no tie-in. That's what we're about, is being real and authentic and being your person to come to when you need the help. So give it a try, as Sarah says. Don't like it, just leave. That's the easiest I can say it. But thank you so much for hopping on with me today, Sarah, because Sarah is so much more knowledgeable about any of the techie stuff than I am. And it's awesome to have her on the calls to do some of that fiddly stuff. I mean, I can tell you the strategy, we can do funnels and all of that, and we do a lot of that together. But without Sarah having the detailed stuff and knowing some of that techie stuff, I would totally be lost without her. So to bring her knowledge and expertise into that virtual room is just amazing, which I'm so thankful for. Cool. So guys, we look forward to seeing you on the members call, and again in the comments we'll make sure we put the link. Come join us for a month, come hang out, send us in your questions, we'll get them answered, and you'll have a recording of everything that's said in there. Okay, so for now it's bye from us.
Bye.
Can't stop the live on Facebook.
Mr.